there are many things we can do. Now, those are specific things to do. What are things you're already doing that you could, here's the mindset change. Instead of, now I know most of you are good, giving people, but that you could even say, you know what, I'm willing to do this for God. I'm not just doing this, I'm doing this for God. In fact, I'm going to make it even better. I'm going to do it even better than what I've been doing. There are things that I do every week, but I give no significance to it because I don't think anything about it. I just do it. I see somebody in the congregation today that approached me a while back and said, there's a support group that we're not reaching. I'd like to start that support group. Can we have space? Yes. They make it happen. They make it happen. They come and go and make it happen. She saw a need. She made it happen. What are you doing during the week? Maybe you're writing letters. Maybe you're sending cards. Maybe it's not something so religious as it is just standing in line. And I was telling someone, we got a couple working on their wedding. I said, so what if you, when you're working on your wedding, because they're a same-sex couple, you're working on your wedding as you talk with the wedding planner, as you talk with the florist, as you talk with the cake decorator, as you talk with whomever you're talking to. You mention, now this is going back to the beginning, don't stalk them. But you can mention, this is part of my church. I'm from Metropolitan Community. I'm MCC. Because a lot of times people don't realize people of same-sex relationships go to church anywhere or a part of that. I don't want you shoving yourself on them. I don't want you being rough with them or just being overbearing. But if it comes up, I went to buy a cake one time, and the person, I told them, we're doing this memorial. Oh, really? Yes. We're doing it at Metropolitan Community Church. And in that moment, it was a moment of stewardship. It was a moment of me being able to reach out and say, I didn't tell him about MCC. I didn't tell him about Metropolitan Community Church. I didn't tell him anything about our ministries, but I did answer his questions. And I did let him know that there is a place right here that we have a place to worship. So there's that line. Well, how do you know, Pastor? Well, Spirit. That's where the faith part comes in. That's where your relationship with Spirit comes in. How do I do this without being overbearing? Some of us are going to the Capital City Alliance lunch today. Others are going to the Panda Buffet, and some others are going somewhere else. There are several groups going to places today. Capital City Alliance. You know what? Last month, I don't think anybody from MCC went. If we did, please forgive me. But the leader of that group said to me this past month, she said, we really miss it when we don't have anybody from MCC to represent the community. And I thought, how powerful is that when they reached out? It's not because we go and make a big spill or a big splash. It's just we're present. And sometimes that's all it takes. So if you're making phone calls for someone, or if you're going to see someone in the hospital, or if you're reaching out to someone who is sick in your family to say, I'm going to put your name on the prayer list at our church. I don't know how often I do that. Constantly I'm telling family and friends, whenever, especially on Facebook, somebody says I'm having a rough day or I'm sick, or I immediately send them a private message and say, we are going to put you on our prayer list and pray for you at our church. So now you know you've got a whole church full of people praying for you. Amen. And I can't tell you how many times that's reaching out. You know what? That's me now doing my work, my action. That's my faith in action that James says you can't have one without the other. You can walk around all day long and say, well, I'm saved, Jesus saved me, and I'm not going to hell when I die. And James says that's not worth anything. That's just a dead corpse sitting right there. If you're not acting your faith, if your faith is not acting out, then you don't have any. You say, well, does that mean I have to help every single person that comes in my way? Yes. Well, what if I don't like them? Too bad. What if I don't have the money to fix everything in their lives? Resource them.
Amen.
Help them find the answer. Well, you mean every homeless person that comes up to me, I'm supposed to give them money? No. If Spirit tells you to, yes. If Spirit doesn't tell you to, no. But you can always resource them. If nothing else, tell them to call 211 and help, or call 211 while you're standing there with your phone. And say, what is your need? I can help you with that. Call 211 and see what are the resources that can help this person. It's amazing, isn't it? Because I'm going to tell you, at a church our size, we don't have a big benevolence fund. It's not like we go out handing out money to a lot of people. And we've had a lot of people stop in and say, can you do this? Can you do this? Most of the time we can't. Most of the time what they need, we cannot provide all of that. However, we may know somebody that can. I'm constantly directing people to other places and resourcing them. I've made calls for people. I've allowed people to use the church phone to call. Resourcing and feeling like you have some control of something in your life helps. It helps. There's lots of stuff that we do every day, but we're not in the mindset that I'm doing this for God. And what I'm trying to do is to help you change your mindset, to stretch your idea of what salvation really is. Call it whatever you want. A spirit of generosity, a spirit of giving, a spirit of I just want to be out there doing something for God. I want my faith to be in action. That doesn't mean preaching at people, and it certainly does not mean telling people what's sinful and what's not in their lives. You point them to Spirit, and them and God will work that out. How about that? Because I don't know about you, but I hate it when people start pointing out stuff in my life they think is sinful. It drives me crazy. It's like, I'm too old for that. Sorry, you've come too late. 5 years old. It stuck. Been there ever since. And I'm not even Baptist. You have two cards. You have the white card and the blue card. The white card is for you to fill out to put your 2015 pledge. That's the financial one. This is just finances. That's so we can separate it from this. Put whatever it is you're planning to do per week or per month. Be sure to check that off, because if you just put a figure down there, we don't know what that's for. So be sure to put down what that is. And on this one, these are going to be available every week. So I want you to make not only a commitment to give, and by the way, some of you are not here every Sunday, and as Pastor Wayne preached last Sunday, that, you know, we actually minister. Of course, he looked at the board, and we had a low attendance the Sunday before. He said, well, you have at least twice that. And I was like, maybe 4 times that. There are probably 200 people in this community that are somewhat regular attenders of this church. If everybody showed up on the same day, not everybody could get in the sanctuary.
Amen.
It's very strange, but it is Louisiana. There are ball games and parades, I understand. Yes. There are beads to be gotten. We must get the beads, whatever we do. That's not a put down. It's fun. if we all make some kind of commitment, not only with the finances, but what are we willing to do? What are we willing to commit to say, you know what? I'm going to specifically say, I'm going to give 2 hours this week to God. That I'm going to be very specific. Now, some of you, if you're going to pick people up and take them to doctor's appointments and that kind of thing, that's going to be different. It's going to be a lot more hours than 2. But what if you go out to eat today with us, but you're going as a representative of MCC, and you're just going to have a blast. You're not going to shove cards in the server's face. You're not going to, surround them with prayer. But when they ask questions, you're available to answer. And when they say, what church is this? What group are y'all? That you're not afraid to say, we're Metropolitan Community Church. Come see us sometimes. We have a blast. Amen. And let it go. Count that as one of your hours today. So 1 hour, any part of that hour kind of thing, Now, he's going to put some music on. There, you have the cards in your seats, and there's some pens there. Make sure you share pens. We're going to give you just a couple of minutes to fill those out, and then I'm going to call for the ushers to come up. And when I call for the ushers, that will be the time for us to not only put these in, but your regular tithes and offerings. It will be the regular offering, and then I will pray over it. We usually pray ahead of time. We're going to pray over it when your commitments all come up here. So we just play some music and give everybody a moment of prayer time.